map of this match, Kompleksi versus Martians. It will all come to the Donville. Martians is the allies, Kompleksi is the axis, RPG and kills this one duel with snipers on such a long map as down below. Here it could be a game changer. Also the shotgun players, Nalum and Gabox out there, the ruins. Might ruin one of those. But for now, an easy slow start out there. An easy slow start. We are not looking out for any faster plays from Martians here. It is Zonville. Will not get a lot of emotions. So one of the slowest map, I think. Quarantine is slow, but I like Quarantine because in Quarantine you can do a lot of things, and we've seen a lot of nice playing on the layers of the map or on the windows, etc. On Breakout the same, but Dawnville seems like the most boring map in this game. But maybe those two teams would make it less boring. Maybe those two teams would make this map exciting. Because I'm not saying that match would be boring. I'm saying only that this map per se is not the most interesting one. Still 5 versus 5, 50 seconds on the clock. And Nalump finds the first elimination. He wins this shotgun fight. 5 versus 4. No more nades on the side of Martians. And that means that it might be hard to look for the clearance. But Pavadox gets first, gets second. 3 versus 3. Martians still not continuing the attack. 25 seconds on the clock. But Martians are now in the side, but Chiba finds one. Chiba finds second. And only Skills alive with 15 seconds on the clock. And Chiba coming from behind. Skills misses. Skills has to run away. But Skills cannot win this round. Okay, he can find Chiba, but it does not really matter because it would be 1-0 for Kompleksi. And the Axis would be the team to start with a point. But Chiba is a defender of sides. Oh, that was a beautiful action from for his own. 2 eliminations there. The third one did not come, but it didn't really matter since the 2 players in the side were stopped, and the Martians were stopped from getting this point. Skills looking for something from the start period. This time it's his turn to go for the graveyard. I mean, I could talk a lot about random stories here. I feel like I feel like I started a story like a map and a half ago or something like that, and I got hidden in the action and forgot about now Spirit. Forgets about Chiba because he's already down there. Eliminated by himself. 5 versus 4 Martians opening defense a bit, so now they can look for a way to get into the side. 75 seconds on the clock. Probably the moment we'll see a bit of a gathering from at least 3 of the Martian players. But continuing my story from like map and a half, because I remember that someone was pretty heated on chats. I think on Quarantine, and I was talking about trash talk. So when I was playing League, because this is the only game I try to play competitively at any level. Whenever I was trash talked by an enemy player, I was just trying to smash him over and then not write anything back, like sit or something like that. I was just writing a question mark. A single question mark was enough to make them go absolutely nuts. Don't do that. Don't be toxic in games. It's not like I'm not doing this sometimes myself. But now Martians, 4 versus 3. They are still being able to manage the leads. Losa in some trouble. Gabox might go for elimination out there if Losa would get shot. If Gabox finds one, this should be an easy plan. Gabox with RPZ, Gabox with Losa, and now it's only Nalump left, but Nalump was already found by Gabox. Gabox for the third, Gabox for the win. 1-1. Martians with a quick response for the points taken by Kompleksi in the first round of the game. Ooh, RPZ this time going a bit further as a sniper, and it is paying off since 5v4, and those first rounds showed us that on Dawnville, if you lose one of your teammates in such an early moment of the round, the enemy can have so much more options to put the pressure on you, have so much more options to make you miserable during these rounds. But also with a quick off tip, since we do have 30 seconds at least before we find any more interesting fights. I'm still surprised that I have not synced Budapest here on stream. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this, and it's good that I'm not doing this, but I'm surprised that I haven't done it yet for the grand final. Instead of grand final, it will be me singing song of George Ezra, but now Blavex is not singing, not speaking. Nate speaks for itself, and Losa shows it because Blavex eliminated by the same way he got a kill. 1950, fine spirit, 4 versus 2, and this time seems like Kompleksi might go for the round, but 1950, it was a chance to finish this off now. Gabok still keeps the chances alive for the Martians to get the point number 2. Nalum in the trouble, Nalum with the charge, but Skills wins it with a pistol, 2 versus 2. And Chiba pretty far away from the action. Gabox as well as Skills might be in a moment, might be in the side, might go for the plant. Bomb already there. 2 versus 2 for the win. 2 versus 2 for this small lead. Chiba, another 90 HP hit from him, but he cannot really find those missing 10 HP. Chiba, time is ticking, time is passing, and passing away is also Chiba. Losa finds Gabox 1 versus 1. Skills versus Losa. Skills have not been eliminated a single time yet. Skills is hiding, he is looking for this. Losa baited, 30 seconds on the clock. Skills cannot play this on time. Skills has to get this elimination. Skills. Losa still looking for it. Losa still patiently, but Skills is just waiting. Skills now going for the push. Skills on Losa. Skills on Losa. Losa with another miss. Skills also. Skills. Losa. Pistol fight. Oh, Losa cannot get this one. Skills will run away. And Skills will get this kill or not. Skills, yes, with a bash. Because none of the players had any other bullets left. But Skills in this weird fight finds a kill. Finds an elimination. 2-1. Martians on the slow lead. Getting another point on the ally side. But this was absolutely grotesque out there. But still, Martians were able to find this kill. Martians were able to find this point, and kill somehow is still unbeatable for death on map number 3. Gabox finds 1950 this time. Complexity a bit irritated while trying to go to the push. And maybe 1950 do not find anything better from this push, but Chiba actually does. Spirit down, 4 versus 4. Gabox looking for the middle part of the map, but now Blavex, he hopes that a Transcon player should be out there. He actually is not, so Blavex will just slowly take space here and set up the attack for the rest of the Martians. Blavex with his Candice Nate, that was a bit suspicious, but now nothing more for Blavex to look for. Paradox already nearby the side, but RPZ finds the nade. Gabox also in the trouble. Gabox found by Chiba, 4 versus 2. And Chiba with another one, so this time we won't see any clashes. This time we won't see any trouble. For Kompleksi, 2-2. We will still stay on the draw. I can already feel the tempo of the downhill. I can already feel the slowness of this map. And we begin another round, and once again RPZ is able to go for the faster play, but the fact that Complexi is getting an early entry kill there will not make the game faster. I would say that's rather the opposite, because now Complexi do not need to push. Still Nalum decides to go for the ruins. Nalum looking for the fight. Nalum, even though that he was low on HP, he finds Blavex, 5 versus 3. Complexi on a good way to get another win. Oh, Nalum, he could not escape from this one, so Gabox with a response, a bit late response, but still a response. 3 versus 4 Martians. The mid smoke is not accurate enough, so Chiba still have a lot of vision out there. RPZ slowly waiting, and Martians, Gabox, Pavadox, Spirits, 60 seconds on the clock, but Chiba might get some info here. 1950 finds Gabox, and I think it's slowly will be Jane time for Pavadox and Spirits. Chiba got shot in torso, not enough to make him bite the dust, and Martians are having a lot of trouble We're looking for that win. We're looking for the plants. The fact that RPZ is having such a huge impact, the fact that RPZ is once again finding the first elimination with the scope, the first kill that goes in like first 20 seconds of the round, and then you can see Martian struggling with fighting back. Paradox with a kill, but Chiba finds Spirit. RPZ finds Paradox. 3-2 Kompleksi. Once again finding themselves on the lead. Of course, it is a better side, but you still need to make the better of it. And Kompleksi is trying to do this. And if they would come back after such a dominated Carentan, after losing 13-2 on Carentan, well, that would be a huge comeback. New Era, I don't know if they will beat New Era if they got into the final of the upper bracket, but they would like to try there. Gabox waiting for the push on the graveyard. Gabox. This time Martians playing a bit slower out there, but Complexy. Besides RPZ, who is once a while. Once in the blue moon looking for the pick. Are just waiting, and Siba waited, opened it out. Because Spirit now unalived. 5 versus 4. Once again Complexy with an entry kill. And now Gabox. In the very exact moment he wanted to enter the ruins. This was the very exact moment when they naded. Blew him up. 5 against 3. I think we've already seen this scenario. I think we've already experienced this one. And we will experience a very similar finish like a round before. Okay, clear out of Chinkot. As I saw a wonderful 5 are playing against Micro, and since they are trying to stay in the tournament, it is getting pretty heated. A winner of that match will play Bomb Squads. I mean, of course, Wonderful versus Micro. The winner of this match will play New Era. The loser will play Notak. Paradox. Martian still not giving up this round. 30 seconds on the clock. Playvex also nearby. But the time is ticking. The bomb is not, and that's the problem for Martians. Blavex now eliminated. Nalum was only waiting for this. 1950 finds kills. Paradox is the only one, but this would be a clean sweep for Complexy. 4-2 Martians. The fact that they are not getting those first kills, those first eliminations on Dawnville are doing huge job out there. The first elimination on Dawnville is what brings you enough of an advantage to even think that, oh damn, I get the first kill, I might even win the round, especially when you are in the defense, because now Martians, when they lose the first player, they lose a lot of options out there. A lot of options for flank, a lot of options for push, for trades. Complex is just taking the opportunity to play the Axis side. They want the pistol bash, and they want it pretty hard since 1950 got 3 eliminations. Nalump pushing the greenhouse, and now finally we see Complexity taking some action, but the fact that Nalump is pushing greenhouse so peacefully can mean only one thing, that Martians are at the graveyard, Martians are nearby the gate, and it might be a ace-hit push. Nalump, as I said, someone near the gate should be at least one of Martian players. 1950 with another one. RPZ 1950, 5 against 1, and this was a beautiful usage of this of the all info gathered by Nalump. You knew what to expect. You had a small piece of map where you could have expected whole enemy team, and you just went to flank them. You just went for kills when it was needed. 5-2 complex. We have a few rounds in a row, but now it would be a quick break for Martians, because they see that they are having a lot of struggle there, because Martians do not even fight during these rounds. Complexy win all of those very freely, very confident. So now a quick break, and Martians will try to come back with some points, because they definitely need those if they want to have a comfortable second half for the win. And now after this break, Martians will try to come back with a point. Martians will try to come back with a solution for the problem of how to crack this pretty solid kompleksi defense. Gabox looking for the nade, looking for the lineup. With kompleksi unboarded by those grenades. Pavadox seeking for elimination. Pavadox going for the fight. Chiba losing some HP, but Chiba can just retreat. Chiba has a lot of space out there, and not a single nade to throw. Not a single nade to make him at least suffer there, make him at least struggle with the retreat. Spirit on the middle, looking for the push to the gate, looking for the push to the sides. Spirit low on HP. Spirit will still try to push for the greenhouse. Spirit might be a surprise. No one's covering this yet, but Skills finds Nalum in the meantime. 5 against 4. It might be the first win in a while for the Martians. Blavex finds Chiba. It is finally looking better. It is finally giving something, but now Gabox would not be a surprise for 1950. Skills gets RPZ. Spirit gets another one, and it's now only Losa in the 1v4 situation. Now Martians cannot really lose this one. Now Martians cannot really give this round away. But the fact is that the Martians swap tempo a bit. The Martians will try to push a bit faster for some positions and play a bit less for the graveyard, a bit more for the ace, a bit more for the middle part of the map, and this paid off. And also one duels, one aim duels. That was it. That was what brought benefits. That was what brought points in the most struggling points of the rounds. Now RPZ, this time kompleksi playing a bit more defensively. They do not want to get banned after last round. Nalum going for the push. Nalum going with the nade inside and taking the nade by himself. 5 versus 5. Nalum with a smoke. Nalum looking for a range gun play. He is being scanned, but he is still being alive. Martians once again with a very, very slow beginning of the points. Last time, in fact, the kompleksi went also to look for something. Gave a bit more space for Martians. This time, kompleksi is playing as defensively as possible. So also the allies would be much, much more careful right there. Kompleksi finds Spirit for the first elimination of the round. 35 seconds on the clock, and Martians did not really do anything during those last seconds, despite of losing one of the teammates, but I do not count this one. Chiba and 1952 in the same side, and RPZ takes down Pavadox. Blavex also dead. 5 versus 2. Kompleksi going for the point number 6. Kompleksi going for another one. Kompleksi, who will get the tie, or maybe not. Gabox. 2 eliminations, but only 10 seconds, and Chiba has a nice spot there. Chiba finds Kills. Chiba finds Gabox. It is 6-3. There was 1 point where Martians were looking great. There was 1 point where Martians were looking dangerous. But rounds later, we see kompleksi with another great point. And the fact that we have kompleksi playing such an even-sided games, there's no one hero, there's not a one-star player on who relies everything on this game. No, there's Chiba, there's 1950, there's RPZ. RPZ maybe is not there because Kills wins the sniper duel right now. And will this sniper duel, will this entry will be enough? Because Speed finds another one. 2 of those 3 players down. Skills with another. Chiba is the only one for those from those 3 who is still fighting. 2 versus 4. Not looking great for kompleksi, especially that Skills gets the third of this round. Losa is the only one alive. Losa is the only one fighting for this point, but we will see another round for the Martians. Seems like this. Losa finds one. 3 more to go with a bomb ticking down. 50 seconds on the roads. Losa nearby the gate. Losa in the middle, looking for a push, looking for something, looking for elimination that can bring him to the side. Gabox, Blavings and Skills already hidden behind the smoke, so not really a chance for Losa to find much there. 40 seconds on the clock. Losa finds one. Gabox not ready for this fight. Losa pushes for more. Losa, can he get to the bomb? Can he get to the sides? Can he get to the fuse? He has no clue. Was neither Blavex. No Skills. Blavex far away. Skills even further. Blavex in the ruins. Blavex is just waiting for him to touch the bomb. 20 seconds on the clock. Low side, now or never, and it's never because Blavex goes for the pick. 6-4. And that means that Martians are still in the play for the draw in the first half, are still fighting for the really good score on the ally side. 4 points already, it seems decent. The fifth one would bring them a bit closer to finding this win. Would bring them a bit closer to the great side after we swap sides. Chiba already taking care of the gate. This time we won't see the Martians looking for the push, so might be a smoke fast push for the Green Scout to surprise Losa there, but Losa, he also seems prepared for such a scenario. Martians slowly. We haven't seen a graveyard play for a while. How Paradox enough got killed on Chiba. Chiba must have been scoped or something like that. It's 5 versus 4. Martians looking for the point number 5. Martians looking for another win. Kompleksi. They did strike one duel, not in the lead when it came to the number of people, but lost. Now finds Paradox. Nalum finds another one. 4 against 3. Nalum. Blavex also down. 4 against 2. It's Kiss, it's Spirit fighting for these points from the Martians, but Kompleksi closer and closer to get to the point number 7. Kompleksi closer to reassuring that they are going to win the first half of this map. I will remind you that every round on this map matters as hell, because if you lose even 1 point, if you made even one crucial mistake, it might be enough for you to get out of the upper bracket. You are fighting for the grand final, you are fighting for the guaranteed prize out there. Skills and spirits. 2 versus 4, half a minute on the clock. It does not seem like a situation from which they can get out, because 1950 finds one. It is a matter of time since 1950 or either of Kompleksi players will find the last one. Skills could not pull this off. Skills too much for him, especially that the clock is a Clocks has the weight of water because you cannot really put up with it. Losa with the last 7-4. Kompleksi with a secured win in the first half of this map. Kompleksi, I would say that they should get the last round also to get a bit more of comfort out there, looking for 5, not 6 points in the as the allies. For now, it would be a short break for Martians, a short pause to get some tactics prepared, to get maybe some things out of the head so they can find for the 5th point. Martians know how important would be this last round from the half, so a short break, and we're coming back in a minute 30 to see if Kompleksi can find the 8th point or Martians can bring the score for their side. So the match resumes for a moment, because now we are going to have the last round of the first half. 7-4 by far. Kompleksi in a win. Kompleksi looking here for the 8th point to make sure that this half would be a good one. RPZ finds Spirit, or that's another one. I think it's like 3rd or 4th elimination for the entrance from the sniper of Kompleksi. It is very important, because when you actually can get closer to some position, when you actually can get first to some of the battle angles and you manage to win the fight, you bring yourself hella advantage for the rest of the round. 5 versus 4. Now we see that Martians would struggle a bit with finding those last chances. Now I think Martians would struggle a bit with finding a push that might bring them to the side. Pavadox still waiting. Time is ticking, I suppose, for next 30 or 40 seconds. We shouldn't be expecting much action from the Martians there because they have to set up everything, so they might deal with that disadvantage here. Pavadox, Gabox nearby the smoke. Gabox in the smoke with a trench gun. This is what might bring them point. This is what might be actually an obstacle for Kompleksi to win this point. Gabox finds a kill. Gabox gets 1950 down. 4 versus 4. Still 40 seconds on the clock. Still some time for them to look for the win here. But Nalum gets Gabox. Blavex can only hit the arm. 4 versus 3. 30 seconds on the clock. Pavlox gets RPG, but Nalum with another one. 3 against 2 Martians. Oh, it does not look great. Bravex for the plants. Chiba will not rotate from the B yet, but the nade is coming. The nade! Oof! My Bravex barely got to survive here. 2 versus 3. Blavex and skills. Trying to defend this bomb. Trying to defend this one to get this points number 5. Before we go into the second half. Another nade. This time Blavex is far away, so he would not be really bothered by this one. Chiba gets Blavex. It is much more disturbing than the nade, but now Skills finds Chiba. Skills finds another one. Skills, can he go for the clutch? 1 versus 1. Nalump versus Skill. Nalum versus Skills, but it's only 20 seconds. Skills might actually go for the win here. Skills might actually find this point number 5. Skills saw the enemy. Enemy also saw him, but it's 15 seconds. But Nalum gets the 4th. What a round from Nalum. It would be 8-4, and it is a very decent score now coming from Kompleksi. It is still pretty open. 8-4 does not really say much, but we know that we are coming in the last half of the semi-final to see who will play against New Era. A moment of a break before we switch to the other side, and we will start last few rounds of this match. And we are ready to go into the last half of this game. 8-4 from the first half. Kompleksi seeking 5 more rounds to get the win in this game, to get the win in this match after such a dominated current time from the side of Martians, to put the first spot, the first seed down in the lower bracket. Chiba looks for a kill, looks for the opening. Oh, it will be the long half. I can definitely assure you that it won't end fast, it won't end easily for neither of those teams. I'm pretty curious what Martians were talking about during this halftime break, because now when it comes to defense it might be much easier, but Kompleksi finds a kill. They will go for the push. Nalum over getting some info. Nalum tries to push the green. Nalum might take control over the whole segment of this house. Kompleksi putting one another player out there, because 1950 is also coming close here. This will be definitely a side attack. Oh, 1950 looking for the pick from above the wall. And Chiba finds speed. 5 against 3. Looks like Kompleksi is doing a great job. Okay, Skills now finds Chiba. But Chiba still delivered a lot of information, because Nalum knows where to look. Nalum up is in 1950, and it is a round for Kompleksi. 9-4, and only 4 more rounds to go for Kompleksi to get this win, to get a 2-1 win in this semi-final. Martians, they know that they have to react, and Skills takes the matters into his own hands. Chiba eliminated in that sniper duel. But we've seen how much he does. We've seen how much his first kill from the sniper could bring for the defense. And we also see that Martians need to unlock themselves. So one dominated round for Morari might be fantastic. Paradox with elimination. Paradox, one of those 3 players who needs the moral boost. 6-11 Paradox. Freeton Blavex, 4-12 Spirit. 5 against 3 Martians. If they want to win this game, they could not lose a round like this. It's 3 against 5 from the side of Kompleksi. It's a huge advantage from Martians, and it will take a lot for Kompleksi to find this clutch. Paradox wounded a bit. Not really a problem for the Martian out there. Minute on the clock. Nalum still hoping to get this kill, and Nalum finds the headshot. 3 against 4. Martians, they have to be careful, because one more from Nalum and it might get too intense for them on the bomb side A. Gabox and Blavex still waiting, but Nalum with another one. Nalum, he got some clutch in the first half, but now Gabox is a surprise there. 1950 was not covering this angle. Gabox with another one. Nalum, he could not get the jump shot. Losa in the 1v3 clutch, but he's only 20 seconds. Losa now or never. He will go for the push, but Paradox gets the kill. 9-5. But still, Martians, they did have a lot of struggle, considering the fact that they got the first 2 eliminations out there. Kompleksi, still 4 more rounds to go. 4 more for Martians to catch up with the score. Chiba trying to go for the peak, trying to go for the first elimination one more time. He is the first one to gain a control above the cathedral. Chiba pushing for the graveyard, but by far Martians do not really want to take the fight. Martians, they just want to wait inside. A classic downfill here. Chiba, angle by angle, in 1950. Will kind of be like Smith shield there, but Spirit finds Chiba once again. Kompleksi sniper cannot really do much during the point, because someone is waiting somewhere for him. 5 against 4 Martians. One more time, they could have an easy setup for a win. They just need to hold tight. Nalum in the smoke with a trench gun. Nalum, he will try to go for the plague grenade. It is annoying, but it's not putting him down. Another one. Nalum still alive, but Garbax, Paradox. The third time's a charm. Nalum could not dodge this one. Spirit for the second of this round for him. 6-9. That's the score that we'll see in a moment on top of the screen because Martians cannot throw this one. Garbox, that's a clean round from the defense. 6-9. Martians, so they are trying to melt this huge advantage that complexity brought. Not complexity brought to the second half. And Chiba has to be much more careful because Chiba cannot lose his life like this. When Complexi loses the scope, loses such an important play on this map, they cannot really do much. Martians have lots of easier job whenever Chiba is down so early in the round. Garbox parties his way with the smoke. Looking for those nades when now Complex will play a lot slower, but Garbox is taking advantage of it and care of it in the same time because those are found with the grenade. 5 against 4, one more time, Martians. They are feeling much more confident after that first elimination. Skills gets Nalum, 5 versus 3, Martians. They are going for another one. They are going for the third round in a row. It seems like the defense also will work, even though that Complexity found something in the beginning. Chiba 1950 still trying. Chiba down, 2 versus 3. It is playable. It is playable because Garbox is now fighting. Garbox having some struggle here, but Skills finding up. Is Garbox getting 1950? It will be 9-7, and it will be a short timeout coming for the Complexity team because they see that they are in a pretty tough spot and they still need 4 more rounds to win. And it's slowly starting to see like 4 more rounds on the offense is getting much harder than 6 rounds on the defense. So a short break and we will come back with point number 17. So, we are resuming the game 9-7. Before the break, Martians found 3 rounds in a row. Martians are looking for the comeback here. Martians looking to tie this game up. Oh, it will get interesting in the very end of the map, but it's still not the end. It's now round number 17. Chiba looking for the fast start. Chiba looking for that first elimination with the sniper's rifle. But not a single pick from Martians. RPZ will look for the nade, will look out for another one coming down for him. RPZ, a huge smoke there in Cathedral, it's huge smoke in the ruins that should buy some time for the defense out there. Blavex, that was a close call, but Martians still standing still with the full squad, with the full stack. Chiba looking for the gate. The smoke is not accurate enough, and Chiba finds kills. The smoke was not a good coverage out there. 5 versus 4. Finally, Complexi getting the first elimination. Finally, Complexi might be getting somewhere in this map because now Axis have to spread themselves a bit more since they are 4 and not 5 players. RPZ Still waiting for the push, still hoping that maybe Martians would like to go a bit further, maybe would like to even up the number of players before Kompleksi can get to the side. 5 versus 4. And still almost a minute on the clock. Kompleksi playing this slowly, but now Spirit has a perfect opportunity. He finds one, Pavlovic with another. It is 4 versus 3 Martians. They are taking over the advantage. They are taking over the round. 40 more seconds for 3 Kompleksi players to push. 1950 from the greenhouse. 1950. Finding around the gate, trying to set up an attack for the A side. 1950. Nearby the gates. Chiba, he already found one. Chiba looking for the quick scope. Chiba looking for that kill, but Chiba low. 1950 as well. Blavex, Gabox, a lot of damage done, but no casualties yet. But finally, Martians with 2 more kills, leaving RPZ as the only one standing. RPZ finds one. Gabox ready there to find a re-kill. 98, Kompleksi. Almost losing the whole advantage. Now it's 4 rounds in a row for the Martians, 4 rounds in a row for the Axis, and it seems like the fact that they did not start as the Axis, that they started as the Allies, might not be in any way relatable out there. Gabox going for the smoke, not trying to go for the push kills. Oh, there was an occasion, there was a time of the window to find that first kill. He could not pull this one out. He gathers some info, he will rotate, he will try to hold the gate. Spirits as well. Spirits have already done a lot during this half. Spirits has already been contributing a lot of kills. He might not get lot because he might not have lot on his count right now. It's only 8, but now Implosa. Okay, and this is much more serious than the one elimination that Kompleksi got last round. Spirit finds 1950. It's still not a tie. Gabox going for the push, and Gabox with clean shotgun shots. 3 against 3. Once again, whenever Kompleksi are trying to get the advantage, whenever Kompleksi are trying to think, okay, now we are 5v3, 5v4, how we can make this work, Martians are like, hey, they're just standing still, I will just walk, and now, and it's gone, and it's nothing, and no advantage is left for the side of the Allies. 3 versus 3, the Martians, they are stacked here. It might be a surprise that Skills have also another player right behind him out there. Gabox holding his back. No matter which route you take as a Kompleksi here, you will bump into one or another. A lot of trust out there from Gabox and Skill Spirits, waiting somewhere nearby the B side. 30 seconds for now. Kompleksi needs to look for the push. Gabox having some trouble, but there is also Skills. 2 players in the spot. RPZ finds Spirit, and now the whole segment of map opens. Gabox gets closer. Gabox looks for another gun. Gabox in the trouble, and RPZ with a kill. Skills in the 1v2 clutch for the round, for the draw, for the tie. Skills. But the bomb is already planted, and the fact that Spirit got eliminated, that was a huge problem, because now the stack of Skills and Gabox had absolutely no reason to be there. Because Kompleksi already took over another side of the map. Skills trying to get closer to the side. Skills. Not really much information between them. Skills. And Chiba is waiting out there, as well as RPZ, both on the ground, both just waiting for this one moment to peak. Skills, 25 seconds left, he needs to be quite quick, he needs to be swifty. Skills, going for the kill, he needs to be precise, but he cannot find the first one. Skills with the one, Skills looking for another. Skills, RPZ, Skills, RPZ, Skills, it's now whatever, 15 seconds on the clock, 15 seconds, and Skills, low on HP. Skills, he will go for the no-scope, but RPZ with the pistol, and Kompleksi, finding point number 10, 10-8 Komplexity, still managing to hold tight with this lead. 3 more rounds to get into the top 3 of the tournament, to get into the grand, maybe not grand final, but into the upper bracket final against New Era, who are waiting there. And of course, if one of those teams loses, it's not the end for them. But it definitely would get much harder. Oh, Chiba with a beautiful shot, and a start that Komplex needed here. Skills. This time, he could not do much about the fact that Chiba was already aimed at the spot that he was going for. 5 versus 4 in Komplexi. This time, putting a much higher pace of the round, but Gabox waiting the hole! This was not supposed to hit Gabox. But Gabox was not supposed to be alive, I guess, so the snake was thrown. 4 against 3, and now finds another one, and that one self-kill, that one team kill might be enough to put Martians down in this round. 11-8, Komplexi running away with the score. Komplexi, 2 more points from the win. Martians need another timeout. Martians need some help, need some moment to cool down, especially after that team kill there. 2 more minutes. And after those, Martians will try to fight, because if they want to win this map, if they want to win this game without an overtime, they have to win 5 rounds in a row. And we see that Komplexi unlocked themselves after the series of losers. That Komplexi is getting those kills, and that Komplexi is much more accurate. So 90 seconds of break, and we're coming back with deciding rounds of Dawnville, with deciding maps, rounds of this map. So after the quick tactical pause, we are coming back to the Dawnville. 11-8 Complexy. Much closer to the win. 2 more points to put the first seed from the group stage in the lower bracket. Can Martians come back from this one? It is pretty tough for them. But Blavex finds the first one. Tiba, this time he won't provide anything for his team. And Martians, we've seen that when they had those good starts, when Martians were able to find those eliminations, they were playing much more confident in the defense. They were having much better rounds, they were having much better duels, even despite the fact that they were fighting 1v1. RPZ close to the death. RPZ still alive. Blavex looking to finish him, but he cannot find the fatality. 4 versus 5 Complexi. They will try to find the attack probably. They will try to get 950 or Nalum again around the B side. Oh, 1950. He finds Nalum, I'm sorry, he finds an 8, but 1950 right now, losing in the guard box. This torso hit would not be deadly for one of the Martian players. And now Spirit, now Skills, living closer as the only one alive from Complexi, so it should be 11-9. It should be a point for Martians after this pause. Losa still looking for the clutch. Losa has plenty of time. He can go hunting. He can go for searching. Losa, but he was not ready for Gabox to be aimed in his back. 11-9 and a win from the Axis. Two more rounds from Complexi to win, and 2 more points from Axis to chase the Complexi here. We start very important fight right there, and Chiba cannot lose another one on the beginning of the round. Chiba cannot be losing those duels if Complexi wants to win here. RPZ going for the Cathedral. RPZ waiting for those nades, but by far Axis holding all of the utility. They know that allies won't come quickly, that this utility might be a bit more useful a bit later in the rounds. RPZ still waiting for the push. RPZ cannot really find nothing, and we are thinking about those attacks that actually worked for Complexity. All of the house, all of the greenhouse area, this was the weak spot of the defense. With good push from the ruins, you could have found wonders. You could have fighted anyone who was positioned there. 5 versus 5, minute 10 on the clock. 1950 trying to go for the first kill, trying to find something new by the B side. Losa finally Complexi trying to get some more space around the ruins, around the Cathedral. 5 versus 5, minute on the clock. Losa They wish pull for the B, they wish pull for the house, but Paradox finds the first round. 1950 was not accurate enough. Chiba looks for the revenge, but Chiba was spotted. Chiba cannot get this hit. RPZ also trying to look for something for himself. And the whole Kompleksi team focused on the B side right now. 40 seconds. They slowly need to get in there. Otherwise, they might not get in any time nearby, and Skills finds Losa, 3 against 5 Komplexi. This round now it's much more complicated, but Chiba finally finds elimination. Paradox down, 3 versus 4, and now 3 versus 3. Nalum with another one. Nalum, who was a hero of this half. Nalum looking for more. Chiba's already down, 2 versus 3, but Nalum in the side. They will be able to plant the bomb. Nalum and RPZ against 3 players. Oh, this night it was dangerous, but they have still time. 13 seconds on the clock. But this clock will be out. We now trigger the clock of the timer of the bomb, but Blavex finds Nalum. And it's RPZ in the 1v3 clutch for the 12 points, for match points for Komplexity. RPZ already spotted, so now Axis can take care of him. So now Axis can go for the bomb. And RPZ spotted and eliminated Gabox. This will be 11 to 10. It was a nice try, especially considering the fact that Komplexity had a very tough start of this round. But still, it was not enough to get Axis beaten. 10 to 11. Martians almost tying the score. And this game might even go into the overtime, but we know that there are no tactical breaks yet. So Komplex, if they want to hold tight with the lead, they need a win right now. They need to run away from the Martians, who are chasing like crazy. 11 to 11, it is possible. If Martians could start another round with 1 or 2 kills like they've done this in past 2, after that break, they could do much more. They got the mental reset. They could found those huge leads that led, of course, to the wins. Skills this time waiting in a pretty aggressive position nearby the ruins. Skills hoping for the push for Komplexity. For Komplexity it's not coming. Spirit on the middle. Spirit looking for one. Not quite there, but Blavex with a scope. Nalum eliminated, and Nalum was one of the most important players there. RPZ also down. Seems like Martians could get 11 to 11. Because one more time, Komplexi will have to fight 3 against 5. Now Gabox, he can end this with Paradox, and they will end this with Paradox because it's now only Chiba left, playing against whole Axis team out there. It will be 11 to 11, a clean round, the third one in a row from the Martians, and we know that this map will be at least 24 points, might be more. And it all depends who will be able to get this point number 12. One of those teams will get one unique chance to finish this in the regular time of Dawnville. This long thriller game, almost 3 hours right now. Chiba looking for the entry. It would be a good moment to put one more elimination from the scope. Chiba, trying to jump for the wall. He could not quite land it. Chiba, very aggressive there on the middle. Chiba, he is risking a bet, but this smoke seems well enough as a cover, so Chiba can look for something like this. Chiba, can he find a shot? He cannot really find the head, not any part of the body where he could get the kill. Chiba with the nades, but no one was quite there. And Malum, a bit of a wound, a bit of an injury here, but Komplexi is hitting. 5 versus 5, and Komplexi is ready for the push. Martians just waiting right now, but Spirit with the first elimination, no one there to find the reflex. Spirit once again from this position, once again being unstoppable from there. Chiba on the mid, but Chiba completely blocked himself when it came to those sniper kills. 4 against 5. Komplexi are trying to look for this point, are trying to look for this map, because Martians are so close to getting this match point. Chiba, 1950, a bit of a trouble out there, and still not yet a single elimination right now. Finally, RPZ finding something for the ally side, and 1950, very close. RPZ with another one. 4 against 3 in Komplexi. Might be actually taking this Gabo. 1950. 3 against 2. But Chiba with a beautiful quick scope. Finally Chiba being able to get this one, but Gabox still did not give up. 1 versus 2. The bomb planted just now. 57 seconds, but Gabox is close. Gabox against Chiba and RPZ. Gabox finds RPZ. It's 1 versus 1. Gabox or Chiba. Lots of times for the Axie. So Chiba would need to win. Gabox! Oh, what a pick! And Gabox makes the 1v3. Gabox brings this point. for the Martians. It would be one match point that Martians got here. They had struggles on Burgundy. They had struggles here because from the score 11-8, it looked like actually Kompleksi is coming for the win, but now 4 points in a row and one more needed from the Axis to get this win. And one more timeout out there. One more timeout. 2 minutes break before they enter into the last round of the regular time. Before they enter in the only chance to get a win right now. Martians. They are so close from advancing to the top 3 of the tournament. They need 1 more point, 5 more kills to be able to do this. And we can see that Gabox is putting all of his heart there. 28 eliminations, 3 with nades. And not a player like that from the side of Kompleksi. Okay, they might be a bit more even when it comes to the kills, but Gabox, he is this hero. Okay, Nalum also is trying to be the hero, even though that score maybe does not show this as well. But Nalum had some rounds like that, but they would need 1 more from him. Martians. 1 more point, Martians. And I'm very curious how Complexity would like to start this round, because we've seen that Martians were not really taking initiative. The only one who was actually trying to get something more was Spirit, and I'm well surprised that in those last rounds where Spirit was getting another and another and another from the same position in the middle, that this position was not needed, that this position was not raided with anything. Okay, of course there was a smoke that was sometimes cutting his vision out, but it does not change the fact that Spirit have done a lot from this angle. That Spirit has cut through a lot of rotations, for a lot of attacks, and Spirit, whenever Complexity was building something up, Spirit just was just turning this all down. 15 seconds of a break more and we will enter round number 24. Complexi fighting for their lives on this map. Complexi fighting for the final of the upper bracket, and of course Martians, who could get this. They just need to reach it. We are waiting for teams to ready up. I hope that it's a few more seconds out there, that they won't hold us too much from this game, and it happens. Match resumes in 5 seconds and we will go into the round number 24, and we will go into the last point of regular time. Overtime or win, we'll see in next 2 or 3 minutes. Martians, they just need to hold aside. They just need to stand still and stay strong under this Complexi attack. Galax looking for a bit more of an aggressive play out there, looking for the smoke, for the further smoke, coming straight into the graveyard. But Gabox, this time Martians are playing aggression. This time Martians might actually look for the surprise, but RPZ is the first one to get a kill. Complexi getting an entry in such an important round. 5 against 4. Complexi, we haven't seen in a while. Them getting the first elimination of the round. Pavadox waiting in the house. Pavadox, they would need a quick response right there. Pavadox. But now, oh now, Martians here. Now they might get something here, but Narum gets another one. 5 against 3, 5 against 2. Oh, I don't think it will end right there, because it's another one from 1950. And Blavex in a 1v5 clutch. Blavex gets 1, Blavex gets 2. Blavex, can he get another? Because he's surrounded and Blavex is dead. 12-12. This is not the finish of this game. We will go into the overtime. We will go into at least another 4 rounds of this Donville. Few more seconds and we should be ready to go into